mean, that's why he was so confident to
I
say,
will support
Emilio Gon, this is my turn. And he became the president.
Sheyi
Because a
Tinubu.
lot of them sitting down there hold
He
him
contest for
favors.
governor of Lagos State.
Unlike the other politicians, like I
That
said.
was a
So
rat
Tinubu give me the vibe
that
of his
was
father.
wrong.
And like Tinubu
I
too,
read him.
Tinubu likes to be in charge. So she like the
In
grandfather,
fact,
like the godmaster, like the godfather.
the father
Sheyi
is on
Tinubu,
fact
if
that
you look at the way he does with his friends, there are some of his friends
son
who
is a
they heal
youth.
online. I'll just
So
observe
when it
them.
comes to power,
They know they come outside and say, Sheyi
they
Tinubu, give me
bring
this money.
Tinubu style of
Sheyi Tinubu, give me
leadership to
that.
play.
They probably don't give them something, don't put them
The
somewhere,
very
don't put
people
them
that
for more
will
strategic
support
location, they
him
collect money.
many years to come, for
Now,
10
if Sheyi
years,
Tinubu becomes the governor,
decades
this is
of,
my
decades
own,
of
my own opinion,
support.
right? I'm going somewhere. If Sheyi
That
Tinubu
means
becomes the governor, it only means one thing. He will want to act like his father.
the
He want to
usually will
strategically
be
plant
behind
people
him.
that he can control. And that's how the
To
young
see
people come into the picture.
the justice
He cannot put an
system.
old man to control. He definitely starts
All
from
that,
well.
all that
Because
activities
governor of
that I
Lagos
was
State,
talking
your
about.
state, that state generates more money than any other state in
Same video
Nigeria.
I
Right?
like.
So you think, okay,
Comment
I
section.
have more money, I have more power.
All together, all
Let me
this
put
babalu.
Emeka in Anambra.
Okay, God bless you.
Emeka will be loyal to me. Let me put Clifford in this one. This one will be loyal to me. Let me put Abdurazak in Kano. Do you understand? And we join hands to put them. Now, this is my own interest. Like that, like that, like that. All these old men don't they come up from power. Do you understand? Like that, power don't they enter the hands of the youth. Then maybe in the nearest future, the person who won't kick Sheyi for good luck can just, just say, okay, yes, I'll not kick. The person who won't rebel, rather. Somebody can now decide that, okay, I want to rebel, and you will not be our godfather again. Now it's now come to the hands of the youth. I don't know if you understand. This is just me thinking out loud, right? So my interest will be that, okay, yes, this guy, if he enter, do you understand? Yes. But here's the problem. Why it will be hard for Sheyi Tinubu to be the governor, right? Oh, watermelon juice. The problem is, this older man knows that if Sheyi Tinubu becomes the governor, they will be kicked out of power. They know. They have seen the traits of his father in him. So it's going to be a problem for him. They know that if this boy come, to be a problem. Already, I saw one video where Sheyi Tinubu would come down from motor, army, the salute time. I just looked at that video, I just smiled. I said, correct, this guy. As you see, I'm like that way, just be quiet. At the observer, a Python, that guy could be, I don't know him, I've not seen him before. But yeah, it's just my own calculation, yeah? So, if he decides, which I believe that is not going to work, if he be governor now, especially when his father did sit, because his father also hold people some positions. That's another problem. Your father said hold people position, because the politics now give and take. Your father said hold people position. So it will be hard for him to become governor, but you cannot completely rule that out. It's politics. It's a game of interest, and I've just stated my interest. Sheyi Tinubu might be the link to kick old men out of power. Then, when they don't eventually do that one, cannot kick Sheyi Tinubu out as the godfather. It's politics. I'm just analyzing. Peace and love, don't play.
Okay.
All right.
First and foremost, the reason why was this guy asked a question. Obiweke, nobody gave me a laptop. A lot of people come to my page and said I'll give you this. Not everybody that makes promises on my page. In fact, 80% of those who make promises on my page don't eventually fulfill it. And that's very bad. Very, very bad. Nobody forces you to come and make promises. But when you do make promises on my page, please be honorable enough to fulfill it. I don't do things to please anybody. There is a guy who came to my page that I will insult Yoruba and then beg Igbos for money. But all of you watching me will know that I have done more videos against things I thought are wrong about Igbos than any other tribe on this page. And I'm still standing. So long as I know that I'm driven by the truth, I will keep saying what I think it is the truth. And if eventually I see that what I've said is not, I've seen that what I've said is not true, I come the next day and I apologize. But I will always be driven by a conviction. That's what I do. Now let's go to VDM's narrative. And somebody here is already saying that VDM has a point. First and foremost, VDM is a youth and has a large following. That is where I'm very concerned. He has a large following. VDM did not get his following by indulging in political matters. That video is a classical example of misdirection. It's a classical example of bestriding or clinging to both sides of the world. He has to present that narrative to suggest he's with the youth and also pretend he is against the ills of Nigeria, but then squeeze his objective in this mix, in these ingredients, in this recipe, to convince people like Ikechukwu Uba that he has a point. He has no point. As a matter of fact, I am very, very disappointed. I am a fan of VDM. I will still say the last time I corrected VDM on his prank, which didn't go down well with me, I got a lot of backlash and lost about 2,000 followers. That is what is even making me become more afraid of VDM, because if somebody can have that type of followership and his followers can't see anything wrong he does, then such a person has very, very dangerous nuisance value. For those who know sabi English, may not also get nuisance value, come to say a bad thing. To have a nuisance value means say na good thing or beg. Which means such a person. Now let me repeat what he said. He said that Sheyi Tinubu's candidacy or candidature for Lagos state government is being tested. They are throwing the argument out there to see the reaction of the public, just as his father did with the Muslim ticket. And although he said he didn't like it, which is not supposed to be, you can see the misdirection. Look, a classical act of misdirection is putting what you feel or what you believe in front of you. Then behind it, I squeeze an agenda. That is misdirection. That is misdirection. Now, he said that if Sheibu comes out as governor, he swears to God. He swore to God that he's going to campaign for Sheyi Tinubu. Now, if I'm a politician of Sheyi Tinubu's pedigree, with a father as president, with all the money at my disposal, I would definitely buy into that welcome, that invitation from Very Dark Man. And the reason Very Dark Man put forward for going to support Sheyi Tinubu is because of the father style. The father, that's Tinubu himself, is the type that plants people 10 years, 12 years, so that later he can have people that are indebted to him. And then these people will in the future be loyal to him because they are indebted to him. Are you kidding me? That is a youth thinking this way. That is a youth already falling in love with politics of misdeed, politics of I know you, you know me, politics of... See, my greatest concern is that our today's youth are seeing politics as a game of who succeeds in criminality. Look, VDM may not be as intelligent as he thinks he is. That video is just a classical example of doing the bidding of somebody playing the strings behind. Somebody trying to tap on the popularity or trying to tap in the popularity of VDM. Now, don't get me wrong. VDM is a young man, and we can call him to order. That a person in the class of Tinubu will begin to admire the political tactics of Tinubu, who we all know said that politics is not served a la carte. You have to grab it, you have to snatch it, and you have to run away with it. A man who deceived Nigerians by gowning, by wearing priesthood adornment to mechanics to pose as Catholic priests, bishops, to attend his inauguration. A youth who is supposed to stand out and condemn where we are now is telling you that he has taken a deep admiration to the likes of Tinubu. I know his supporters will come after me. I was once his supporter, but recently I am checking my support. I must be I must confess. It's okay that you are pursuing people's problems and solving problems. I came out gun blazing when the Falanas attacked VDM. I know I got a lot of thanks from people who saw me stood for him. I stood for him with his case with Bobrisky. But you see, recently, I think my young friend is veering off. My young friend is veering off. I take an exception to somebody who will use his platform to convince youths to begin to see the brand of politics of Tinubu as something to be admired. It is alleged, underline the word alleged, recently, that your president is alleged. I emphasize the alleged. I've emphasized the alleged like 50 times now. It is alleged that your president is the third most corrupt leader in the world. You didn't make a video about it. VDM didn't make a video about it at all. And now you are saying that you admire. First you condemn. You see, this is a classical act of misdirection. Very mischievous one at that. You first condemn him, then you praise him. First condemn him, subtly condemn him, then you praise him. That he brought the Muslim ticket, which is not supposed to be. But you are buying because Tinubu is someone that plans people ahead of time, 10 years, 12 years, so that in the future, that means Tinubu now cannot stand in the face of unbiased determination. That means if we are going to vote now, whether Tinubu is a bad leader or a good leader, because he has planted people that are in judiciary, that are in INEC, these people will ensure that they work for him to see that the true result of a vote will not appear. And here is a young man whose future has been, I didn't mean his future, here is a young man who knows the futures of the youths of Nigeria has been destroyed. Making a case for those destroying Nigeria. Ask VDM, just 2 years ago, how much is he buying fuel? Of course, you say that because they removed subsidy, fuel price must increase. Now, who told you that the percentage or the resultant effect of subsidy removal is equal to about 1,000 naira, or let's say 800 naira, that we are currently paying as excess on fuel? Who told you that the resultant increase in a kilo of meat should not be 6,000 naira as compared to 1,005, which we were buying it before? Do you know that a ball of onion, there's no ball of onion for 100 naira now. Onion that in this Jos, thank God he grew up in Jos. He knows Jos very well. We in Jos here, onions is like, if I go to send my boy to meet me shy to fry me, I like onion. I love onions. I love onions a lot. If I tell my boy to go to Meshai to fry me egg, I usually take one onion from the house and give it because I tell them to slice a lot of onions in the egg. I love onions, especially fried onions. I love it so much. But now, anytime I want to pick onion, my wife, they fight me. No touch my onion, no touch my onion. 1,000 naira onions is just a few balls, maybe 3 or 4 balls. 1,000 naira onions before they fill under my table where they put gas. Under the onions, they plenty. Are you honestly telling that VDM does not see that our hospitals? Have you been to the hospital lately? Thank God he is into humanitarian work. Has he not been to our hospital lately and seen that our hospitals are crashing? Has he not been to schools recently and seen that the level of education is very, very bad? Have you not been to public school lately and see that our schools are bad? Thank God VDM is from Edo State. Have you not been to Edo State? Anything from Auchi to Edo State? In fact, Edo State has the worst road. Nigeria, the supposed giant of Africa, have no road. And here, you are making a case that old people, look, leadership has nothing to do with old age, young age. This leadership has more to do with sincerity. If you are 100 years and you are sincere, the country will be good. Yaradua was an old man, but he was sincere. And we tasted growth in the 2 years of his power. Was Yaradua a young man? No, he was an old man, yet he had a record of being a good leader. Yaya Bello is a young man. He was the governor of Kogi State. He has done nothing in Kogi State, and yet he is accused, allegedly, of stealing 80 billion naira. You are not talking about that. What has age got to do with political excellence? Look, let me tell you, VDM, to be very, very candid, that video, you fall my hand. If you like, make your followers attack me again. I won't stop saying it. That video, it is either you are paid or you are seeking relevance from Sheyi Tinubu. Of course, if Sheyi Tinubu is going to employ you, we'll be talking in the hundreds of millions. That you swear to God they are going to campaign for Sheyi Tinubu. The Tinubu family, Tinubu was governor of Lagos State, and Lagos State as it is more or less like a property or is an estate of Tinubu. So you want his child now to become the governor. And in fact, it's a pity. I feel very pained though that I'm making this video because I know I will lose followers. It's okay. Because if I don't say this, I'll be one of the biggest hypocrites. I am an old man. I am old enough to be VDM's father, but I am very particular because such a man who controls a large page and consequently controlling a large public opinion will fall into the victims of this politics, or of these politicians. You get me? So Adeyemi Dairo, I wasn't expecting any different comment from you. Adeyemi Dairo, let me speak to you, Adeyemi Dairo. To be very honest, I don't want to go into an argument with you. Adeyemi Dairo, I want to speak to you. You see, when you applied to follow this page, I accepted your followership. But one of the reasons why I accepted you to be on this page, I can as well block you right now. was because, one, you are a youth. You should be around 40 something. You should be either in your late 30s or early 40s. You are a youth. And judging from your comments, from your style of write-up, you are intelligent. You are an intellectual. But what I cannot put my finger, what I cannot lay my finger on is, why is it that such an intellectual that is a vibrant youth cannot seem to liberate himself from this tribal proclivity? You are the one who commented on my page saying that I will insult Yoruba, then go to Igbos and beg Igbos for money. That's a shame, because that's purely mischievous. On this page, I have had more quarrels with Igbos than any other tribe. I've had more quarrels with Igbos on this page than any other tribe. I have repeatedly, for the 1,000th time, said I am not in support of Biafra. I am not in support of IPOB. I have quarreled with them yet. So for you to come on this page, say that I insult Yorubas because I want to meet Igbos to beg them for money, that's purely mischievous. You know that's not true. Except you are saying that Yorubas are so perfect. How can we have a president? How can we have somebody as president and then his son as governor? I know somebody made an example of George Bush, who was president and his son was governor. Look, our society has not evolved to that extent where we can have that. Already we know that the governor of Lagos State is a stooge of the president. Already the governor of Lagos State is a stooge of the president. Imagine if we now have the son as governor of Lagos State with the highest revenue generating capacity in Nigeria and one of the key states that holds election results in Nigeria. We are all done for. You see, I feel very sad. I feel very sad trying to reach the youths. I wish I was as young as these people. It would then be easy for me to reach them. You know, I told people that VDMs should reach me. And some people thought I was trying to use VDM to gain clout. No, I was trying to get him to my side and furnish him with some, you know, maturity, because eventually the weight of VDM's popularity it's easy to gain popularity on the internet. It's also very easy to crash. It's very easy to crash. Now, this politics that VDM is stylishly going to, you know, VDM knows exactly the tastes, it knows the feelings of Nigeria with this government. And VDM, again, was one of those. I remember, a lot of you don't know how VDM came into the internet. VDM was once an obedient. VDM started on this internet from being obedient. This issue of stumbling on people's problem and solving them just came in after being an obedient. And I know a lot of them who were always, once they put on their camera, it's about obedience. It's about obedience. Where are they now? Where are all of you? All of you use this man just to gain popularity and you leave him. You left him. Some of you used Peter Obi to become House of Rep member. You went to the house and you dumped him. Some of you used Peter Obi to become Senate You got into the Senate and dump him. Only the governor, Alex Otti, that I've seen has not dumped Peter Obi. Even the Labour Party that Peter Obi used, even the Labour Party that used Peter Obi to gain party relevance has suddenly proven that they are better than Peter Obi. Everybody, that's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. You can't use somebody to climb up there. You get me? And then you dump him. You don't. When you stick with somebody, you stick with that person, and that's what is that is what is wrong with our political parties. Once you are in PDP and APC is winning, because you know that PDP is not in power, you cross carpet. How do they call them? You swap. What was the word they use? Is it swap? You change parties. If tomorrow PDP comes to power, you see people from APC coming. You don't. Yeah. So VDM, I still insist. Your meeting me is not to ask you for money. Does not me say if you don't give money, I no go take. But it's not to ask you for money. You see, you are digging yourself into troubled waters. You are dipping yourself into top. Senior King James, Peter Obi is docile and fickle-minded. You seem not to. You see, when I see comments like this, you don't understand Nigerian politics. This is what you said this is what you said about Jonathan. That Jonathan is weak. In this Tinubu government, you want Peter Obi to do gra-gra when you know that they are waiting for him to just do one small thing to pick him out. They know that the only competition they have is Peter Obi. They know that the only Atiku is not a competition in 2027. Atiku is not a competition at all. The real threat to APC is Peter Obi. And they want Peter Obi to just make one false move and they'll pick him. That was why they use what's that guy's name? Felix Moka, to test the waters. And they saw that we thought we have destroyed this obedient movement, not knowing that obedient movement are just there. Senior King James, you are so ignorant. I can tell you that underground, there is a lot going on that you don't know. There is a lot going on that you don't know. I am attending meetings and discussing with people every day, 24 hours. Don't think because we are not coming here, blind, we will be dead. We are not wearing suit. I have a meeting coming up sometime next month. I don't want to call the date. I have a meeting coming up sometimes next month in one of the states, which I'll be a guest speaker. So a lot of things are going on. Don't think because Peter Obi does not express braggadocio, and then you say he's fickle-minded. Are we now going to reduce Nigeria to a one-party state where one family controls the party and the party controls Nigeria? It will be a dangerous phenomenon to allow to succeed in Nigeria. If you know VDM, please. If you know VDM and is your friend, please caution him. Please caution him. That video about him supporting Peter Obi and even swearing to God, and the reason is that you want to take out old men, and look, that argument no longer holds water. That a young man will do better than an old man. It no longer holds water. Yaya Bello is a very good example there. Alex Otti is an old man. Is he not trying for Abia people? Alex Otti, is it his age now that is making him to do good in Abia State? Or this guy, what's his name? Ibrahim Traore of Senegal, that has transformed Senegal in just, is it Burkina Faso, sorry, Burkina Faso, in less than 2 years. Is he his age? It is a conviction. Being a right leader has nothing to do with age. It has more to do with conviction. So anybody who comes to a social media platform say, we need the youths. These youths that are more corrupt than the old ones. Do you know that the youths are more corrupt than the old ones? The youths that will collect 4,000 naira to sell their future away is who you want to make leaders. It has to do more with conviction. It has to do more with orientation. It has to do more with the person. It has not to do with age. I repeated a story here that somebody sent me. This guy, he was saying that somebody sent me 1 million. Somebody sent me 2 million to me. Somebody sent me 20 million naira in cash. Not 20 million naira. I saw 2 occasions in Adamawa State. I think I've told that story countless times. For me to switch campaign from Peter Obi to PDP for Atiku. And what I'm doing in the north, I should go to the south and do it. Under the table where we are sitting and drinking in Numan local government, 20 million in Ghana must go was there. All I need to do is say, okay, I agree. We'll take the money to the bank, put it in my account and sign an agreement. That's all. There and there, 20 million. But I was driven by my conscience. I was driven by my principle. It has nothing to do with my age. It is something that is already sown in me. It's something I already grew up with. So it doesn't mean that at the age of 16, at the age of 18, if they give me that 20 million, I will not run with it. It's only when I'm old. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do more with, it has everything to do with orientation. Somebody also sent me money into my bank account for me to do this campaign for Peter Obi. If I wanted, I could be like this guy in Kwara State, Shola Carpenter. He was just selling optics. He will be posting posters. They will be videoing him. Say, this guy is working. Meanwhile, he was not doing anything. He was not affecting and infecting Kwara State at all. In fact, the only real campaign that Kwara State saw was when we got to Kwara State and we started campaigning on the street. And he was very docile because he was afraid to show his body. And after the Peter Obi, after the swearing in of this thing, are you hearing of Shola Carpenter again? Are you hearing of Shola Carpenter?